He's an Austrian engineering professor. He's on his way to Turin to give a speech on the military uses of bakelite. He's a man that expresses opinions that are kind of offensive to some of the other passengers because he's very aware of place and hierarchies and race. And given that it's 1933 and he's quite buttoned down, quite serious guy, he's someone to watch, and I think he's a pretty good candidate when we're looking for, in this whodunit, he's a good who candidate. The role of the director is paralleled by the role that he's playing in the story, because as the director, he's the circus master, and he's setting the scene, and then he's telling everybody what they need to know, and then going forward in the story. And a similar thing happens in the story itself, because his character really takes hold of the situation and directs the events. So there's a parallel there. And he's quite amazing that him being in and outside of it was very fluid. In some situations, he would shoot whole sequences of his side of a scene, and although we wouldn't see it, that would already be done, and then he would just basically do off-camera for us, which is kind of unorthodox, but it works perfectly well. You know, when actors are asked about other actors, they're always going to say nice things. But trust me, this is a very good group, and I think it's a testament to Ken's direction and organization and how the production has been run, that it's a group that really gets along together. And since it's an ensemble piece, there's a lot of time where you're around people supporting other people, and you're, I wouldn't say marginal in the scene, but you're not doing the heavy lifting. And that's true of almost all the characters, with the exception of Poirot. So you need a certain kind of patience and a certain kind of willingness to support. So no room for prima donnas. And in this group, there were really none. All the characters in this story aren't who they appear to be. And Hardman is no exception. And he clearly, to be an Austrian, he's going to have an Austrian accent. It's 1933. And it's got to be an Austrian accent that is good enough that he can pass without raising eyebrows, but is imperfect enough that Poirot, in fact, catches that it's not his real accent. So that's a condition for learning the accent. And then basically a dialect coach helped do some beautiful research for me, found some good examples of Austrian accents, and then we kind of walked through the text. It's full of surprises, it's atmospheric, romantic, nostalgic, but also has an edge. It never really, while it has some fun with itself, I don't think it ever goes into kitsch or a goofiness, which I think was one of the things I noticed from the very beginning, and I spoke about with Ken after reading the script, and he was very happy that I understood that. So you can never promise until you see the film, but it's been great working on, and I think it'll be a really fun movie for a lot of people.